Hello, we are back live. It's Friday somewhere. Let's drink. I am joined once again by my good friend, Ed Grohl. How you doing, Ed?
I've had better weeks. Let's just put it that way. Sorry about the voice, everybody. I got a little bit of a chest AIDS going on right now, but we're gonna power through for the people.
Yeah, we need to get these out because we're gonna be going on hiatus soon. Like you could tell a difference, right? Um, but here we are. This is one I'm really excited to try. This is gonna be great. I hope it is. I've never had a beer from this brewery, and I've wanted to for a long time. We are drinking Adroit Theory EBK New England Style Imperial IPA. This is the Warning Shot edition. You can see that. There you go.
Can't believe you've never had an Adroit Theory beer.
Nope. And boy, this is hazy, and there are a ton of particulates in this thing.
Yeah, this thing's loaded. You could see it through the bottle before we drank it. You put it up to any light, and it's just swimming.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. In fact, it says consume immediately. Beer has not been filtered and will have considerable hop particulate. Rouse before pouring. So they want you to give this a vigorous pour and really get all those little bits in there. That's not something I usually read.
Full disclosure, these were bottled in June, so
Yeah,
you might want to take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah, so June, this was bottled June 28th, 2017. 8.5% ABV. And let's give it a try.
I'm digging the color. I'm digging the smell.
It's a little bit more on the bitter side and more traditional IPA side than I would have expected for something that's labeled as New England IPA.
I wonder if that definition is becoming stretched these days, just to maybe kind of like how the session thing hit a year or two ago, and everybody had to put session, and that's starting to fade out. I wonder if now people are like, well, this is close enough, so we'll put New England style and see if people go nuts for it. Not that I'm blaming Adroit Theory of that by any means. What I'm saying is, maybe it's coming to that where you see that. And Adroit Theory, I've had several of their beers. We have friends that go there a lot. They're in Northern Virginia, and the beers that I've had from there have been nothing short of great. And I think this one so far is pretty good. I have no problems with it. Adroit Theory is top notch. I still have yet to be there. I'm the last of my friends to not get there, but I hear the place is great, and that's actually a day or overnight trip that you can make from where we live anyway.
Yeah, early impressions are this is pretty good. I am having trouble with the style categorization, but just as a beer I'm enjoying right now, I like it so far. Getting a lot of grapefruit. Yeah, some tropical notes. It doesn't have like the creaminess or the soft body that I would expect. It's hop forward. It's not malty. It's not sweet. So this is how I like an IPA to be. It's in that vein. Wish it had a little bit more body. I wish I had a lot more body. It's just too thin.
It does have a little. It is lacking a little bit there. It tastes really good though. My smell must be off. I'm still a little plugged up. I'm getting mine's maybe a little buttery, possibly. That could just be my whole system being off though.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. Again, lots of particulates. I mean, and now that I topped off, I don't know if you can see this at home. You probably can't. There's some like nice chunks in here coming in.
Yeah,
definitely humpy stuff.
I noticed that when I watch these on the big TV, you can definitely see a lot more than what we can see on our screens. So yeah, I mean, geez, it's really in there, man.
It's
I don't notice it when I'm drinking it though. I don't care.
You know what though? It's so far. Yeah, so far it's not off-putting. I did have a beer by a friend, and I'll just throw it out there. It was the Hip Hop's Hooray. That at the end of it, it was just straight Grass Clippings. That's by brewery at Hershey, which if they do have some good beers. The Hips Hop Hooray that I had, just it didn't fall in that category, but not bad.
Normally that beer is perfectly fine. I'm not sure what happened there, but I'm probably biased though, so I probably shouldn't talk. So he's my buddy.
I'm friends with him too. Ryan does make some nice beers. Their Central Pale Ale, love that beer. Love that beer, and the Lageritaville. Really big fan of Lageritaville.
I was surprised with how much I like their Palm Beach, because it's a lot of things I don't like in beer, but for some reason his works for me. I don't know.
I like Palm Beach for a while. I think that's a beer that I enjoy maybe one or two of. But I can't sit there and really, have multiples of. It just doesn't necessarily work for me on that level.
And FYI, I'm drinking out of another pint glass that I got in college, Brooklyn Brewery, one of the first, I guess, straight up lagers. If we're discounting Yingling Lager, one of the first true, actual American lagers that I've ever had, and fond memories of that. And I remember seeing what Garrett Oliver looked like one of those old beer magazines, and I was like, man, look at this. It kind of looks like Billy Ocean. I was like, who is this guy? But kudos to him for keeping it going so long and keeping that, that Brooklyn thing alive. That's great for him.
Yeah, Brooklyn is one of the. It's not one of the elder statesmen of craft beer. I can remember when I was still new kid on the block, and it's really great. Really great how they matured and changed. I did see in the news earlier today that both Black Ops and Monster, their barley wine, are both coming back in 2018. So, or maybe even here at the end of 2017, but coming back soon, hopefully. That's I saw the labels leak out. That's exciting.
Yeah, Black Ops was some good stuff, man.
Yeah, big fan of Black Ops. All right, if you are out there, say hello in the chat. Of course, I can't pull up the live chat right now for some reason. Again, I'm having problems with the live chat.
We're gonna have to switch. We're gonna have to switch providers yet again. We'll eventually have to pay for some.
Oh God, help me! I don't know if I can pay to run this unless it really made it a lot easier.
I've already been shopping. Don't worry.
I do want to plug the show for next week that we have. It won't be a live show. We're coming back with the podcast, a fully edited show. We got a special guest. Don't want to say who it is because I don't want to jinx it. But it's our biggest guest yet. It's someone who is, I think everyone in our listenership will know his work, and really hope it comes through, because this would really be our biggest get yet. And I think that I think you'll have some interesting things to say about craft beer and the culture around it, and things that have been happening. So we're recording that next week. Like usual, it'll take about a week to get it out. But after that, I'm moving. As you can see, those who follow the Unfinished Basement here is getting more and more bare. And then we're going to go on a brief hiatus while I find my new digs. And then hopefully my new space, I'll have a better camera, better setup, and the live shows will be even better.
How could they get any better?
I don't know how they could get worse.
Come on, these are fun. I mean, we threw these together on a whim, and we get together on Thursdays and drink beer. People join us. People watch on YouTube. Come on, this is a victimless crime.
It really is.
It's
really
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is.
And we're reviewing some really good beers and some off the wall stuff. So it's not like we're just, doing some ham and egg or strap hanging, beers that you pick up at a 6-pack at the grocery store. We're getting some good stuff. So it's not like we're just out here lollygagging.
Yeah.
Or any other 40s terms you want me to use there.
No. We are getting good stuff. We are getting good stuff. And now I got the chat up, so that's good. Hello, Chad, WooTube. Thanks for coming in. Hmm. Wow. WooTube says, looks like hay. Does it taste like hay? No. IPA in a bottle. Yeah, I know. A lot of cans out there. I prefer the can.
Is that not a thing now? IPAs in a bottle? Because where I
Yeah.
come from, I'm pissed to seeing them in the cans anymore.
Chad says doesn't look hazy at all. What it doesn't look is it doesn't look like your real typical juicy Northeast style IPA that we've come to expect from like Treehouse or Trillium. It's a lot of particulates. Is it hazy? Yes. Is it clear? Definitely not. I mean, it's not.
It's not the same haze where they throw the hops and everything and use the oats and put them in the whirlpool and everything. It's not the same scientific way that they do that. It's tough to see through, but a lot of that is is because there's some solids in this.
Damn, Chad Clancy breaking some news to at least to me in the chat. 6 points just landed a brewer from Trillium. Holy shit, that'd be awesome.
Does he have to brew in Wilkes-Barre?
I don't know.
Truth bomb. Yeah, they took a lot of heat because they brew at the line. They brew because they didn't have space, I guess, at their place or whatever. So a couple years ago, when they were just getting big on the scene, they took some heat because they were claiming to be, the big. But
yeah. All right, I'm pouring the rest of this bottle in here, and boy, did it get turbid! Wow, there are just chunks everywhere. This almost looks like my triple mango IPAs that I had from Al and Trogs. Remember that one? That's what this looked like. There were just chunks of mango in it.
Oh.
And that's what this looks like. YouTube, welcome to East Town. I don't think this is yeast. I think this is actually, well, some of it's yeast. Some of it's hops. Some of it's definitely hops.
The worst thing I did was keep that. These were on their side in my wine / beer. I don't have wine. It's just all beer, but most of it's wine rack style. And then I always get yelled at by people for putting beers on their sides. And I'm like, that's just how we do it, bro. I'm a stout guy. Screw it.
Yeah. Michael, drinking along with you. What are you having today, Michael? And everyone else in the chat, what are you guys drinking? Let us know. All right. I'll tell you what. This one's kind of hard for me to nail on the flavor. I do want to talk about the Adroit Theories webpage because it's very nice, but it's very busy. If you I'll put a link to it here in the show notes and into the live chat. It's kind of busy. The part that I think is kind of weird is that actually when you click on one of the beers, it takes you right to the Untapped site, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. It seems kind of lazy. It sounds like they're handing over a lot of their work to.
You mean like? Do you feel lazy on the brewery's behalf or lazy on a web programmer's behalf?
Both.
Why would I make this page when I could just go to Untapped? Yeah. I could see if you want to give a link, like you have the description of the beer, and then you're like, hey, here it is on Untapped, here it is on Beer Advocate.
Yeah.
I guess rate beer is not a thing anymore, but it does seem a little odd that people are just deferring to that now. And I wonder if that's like I guess I'm a conspiracy theorist. I just wonder if they're like buddies or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's a bit of a cop out, at least. They do have a little write up here about it. Explosive aromatics of grapefruit. I wouldn't call this explosive. Melon and lysine, creamy body. Not really. Dry finish. Okay, with low bitterness. Yeah, I would say lowish.
They said lychee.
Yeah.
I don't get any of that.
I don't get that either. I got the grapefruit and the melon. Warming rays crest the horizon. Hovering mist rises, providing a chill that penetrates the bones of vigilant warriors. A crimson blanket covers the battleground, reflecting the forthcoming massacre. Soldiers advance towards their enemies as the Tangashima rings out, what? Bellowing its final cautionary cry.
My
This
dearest
is,
Petunia, the North has advanced past
yeah,
Richmond.
yeah. Are we going to start talking about the fields of God? This is Flanders Fields. This is what? What are they doing? Is this some kind of like death metal shit? I don't know. It's fucking
That
weird.
that sounds like that doesn't sound like death metal.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just basing it on
That
the
sounds like shit
label.
that wants to be death metal or something, like one of those fake bands.
Yeah.
One of which I can't come up with now that I made
Well,
the
Thunder is
joke.
marching. Their Katinas clashing with Force.
I think it's
First
katanas,
katanas.
like the
Well, I
like the
can't read it.
Leonardo,
Like,
the Ninja Turtle, the
right,
sword.
right. Katanas clash with Force. First severed head falls. This is fucking dumb. Why'd
Sounds
they
like
write
some
all that shit?
anime shit.
Why is this on here? What is this? What are they doing? Who are they? Why? Why do I
Who
care?
are these people? I can't do my Seinfeld right now.
No, your voice is too fucked up. I don't understand this. The marketing for this is just. I mean, there's a bunch of pentagrams on the guy's head. What? This label is not great. It's bad. I mean,
I think it's kind of cool, but I could do without the fan fiction.
I don't know. This looks like some shit that someone drew on their high school notebook. The kid's like, "Oh, you can really draw." Yeah. All right. So
This looks like a bad decision tattoo that like one of the smokers in my high school would get. Well, not my high school, but the public high school would get.
wow, that's that. And I thought I was the elitist asshole of the
No,
elitist asshole.
I just mean the kids in my school just weren't in, and the one that was like, whoa, look at that guy, he's nuts.
Yeah.
But you go to the public school down the street, and it's like every third guy's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I mean, if you get a tattoo like this in high school, you were super edgy. What's EBK? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if you're in the chat. If you know what's going on here, that'd be love to know.
If you're checking in from Sweden and you know death metal, please call the show.
WooTube says the label is definitely death metal. See, there you go. Yeah, Michael Bloss is drinking intervals by South County Simcoe. Very nice.
Ooh, Simcoe's making a real comeback here.
Yeah, Abby's dad, Ed, outside of his yacht rock element. Ain't that the truth?
Raise your fist to the metal child.
You respect the metal.
Fuck yeah, I do. I went back and forth as a child. My dad very much into the yacht rock that I listened to. Then hung out with the kids that were into early Def Leppard, like Pyromania, On Through the Night, like not that hysteria bullshit, and Motley Crue, like Theater of Pain, Shout at the Devil, all that crap. Sex Pistols, listen to that. This is how old I am that I remember all this. And then around 1985 or 86, Walk This Way by Run DMC hit. And for the next, oh God, through even my high school years, I was pretty much all into rap, all rap.
Oh.
And then senior year of high school, started listening to like Pearl Jam and Nirvana, got back into the rock stuff. And thank God, because my friends in college would have killed me with they hated my rap stuff. But I was like, so maybe I'll give Nirvana another shot here, and really enjoy that stuff. I'm glad I've kind of been through it all, even all the old early Metallica stuff, Master Puppets and all that stuff. Lived through all that. I lived, in a neighborhood with a lot of kids that were into that who are older than me. So I've run the gamut of music, and I can appreciate music of all kind. And now that I'm getting older, I'm just getting more in touch with my softer side, I think.
There you go. I have the world's worst opinions about music. I I'm embarrassed by my musical taste. Uh, I really only jumped in to music really when Nirvana came out. I was a big fan of Kurt Cobain's work. Loved Nirvana. I didn't really follow it much after that, as far as the rest of the
Well, there
grunge
wasn't a whole
era.
lot to follow after after In Utero.
Well, yeah, that's true. Uh, I didn't follow into the rest of the grunge. I big Nine Inch Nails fan for a period of time, and I got into that industrial stuff for a while. God Lives Underwater and weird shit like that. Um,
Filter. I like
oh,
Filter.
loved
Love
Filter.
Filter.
Hey Man, Nice Shot is so good.
Title of Record is one of my favorite
Wow.
albums of all time.
Oddly enough, Abby's dad in utero was released 24 years ago today. Fuck, I'm old.
Timely references. I
Oh
love them.
God, that's sad. And yeah, I my roommate in college was really into underground hip hop, hieroglyphics, dilated people, shit like that.
Love Hieroglyphics, Del the
Yeah,
Funky Homo Sapien,
yeah,
even guys like MF Doom, who was once in KMD back when they were kicking it with Third Base, and his brother died in a motorcycle accident. If you want me to get into all of that, I can. But
yeah.
continue.
You're right in there. I listened to all that kind of through osmosis.
If you'd like to
Um,
hire me for music trivia nights, $5 a head. Let's go.
wow. Also today, tech support jumping here. Also today in tech history, Google came out of beta in 1999 on this day. Wow.
Sounds like a good
God.
move. We should probably buy stock in that.
Man, we should have bought stock in that and Amazon. Fuck. Missed the boat on both of those. Hmm. All right. Um hmm. By the way, Ed Easy Pretzel chimed in. Quote, those beers were fucking awful, end quote. Yeah. Dave's a tough critic.
Here's my problem. These beers are not fucking awful.
They're
These
not.
beers, if you are going to put them against some of the better beers from like a Vale or a Treehouse with that style, and we're now that into that style, I think you can say that, okay, in that vein, they're not. These, I'm starting to wonder about, and we already talked about this, the label of a New England style IPA. This to me tastes more like just a regular IPA to double IPA. It's in that alcohol range. So I think it's fine in that aspect. If this just said IPA, I'd be like, oh, this is fine. It's good. I don't know. But
Yeah.
when you're holding it, against that wall, it's really tough to say, well, this is great and it's fantastic. And I think he might be looking at it through that scope.
No, and I think it's fair to look at it through that scope. I'm going to just give you a look here at the bottom of my glass. Let it sit for a little bit and look at all that shit. That is yeast. That is not all hops. That's
That
a
looks like you need to put the little sucker thing in the bottom of your in-ground pool to suck out all
yeah.
the algae.
The little robot. I mean, this is bad.
My parents had the creepy crawly that sucked to the side and would crawl around the pool, and would like you had to let it go like overnight, and then in the morning you had to get it because it'd be out of the water. You have to put it back in the water. It would like trying it out. It's very weird. The robot sucked. The robot was terrible.
God, that is really messed up. Problem is, I didn't bring a second glass. We got another beer to go.
I don't know why you wouldn't bring a second glass.
Because all my beer glasses are packed away. This is literally my only one. It's my only one because I don't care about this glass. I'm gonna throw it away when it's time to move. I'm 2 weeks out.
Can,
2 weeks
can I
out from today.
Unpopular opinion alert? I am not a fan of those can glasses. I
Oh, I
don't like
love
them.
these. I love them.
I don't. Everybody else likes them. I don't. Just the way that the edge feels when I put it to my mouth, it feels like when you. I always cut my mouth on like thin sliced pizza because
Wait,
I'm shoving my face and it cuts the corners of my mouth. That's what I feel like when I'm drinking out of those glasses.
what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, did you ever eat pizza too fast and it cuts the sides of your mouth because you're just going too fast and no.
No.
All right. What does everyone eat their pizza with a fucking fork? What the hell? What am I,
Uh,
mutant boy?
you know what? I don't think
Oh,
that
here it
I don't
comes.
I don't think that eating pizza with a knife and
We've
fork
already
is
heard your
some.
thoughts on a salad dog, apparently.
I don't think eating pizza with a knife and fork is some kind of like grave sin. There, I've said it.
I kind of have to disagree, unless you're eating that bullshit from Chicago that you need to eat with strawberry shortcake on
No,
top.
fuck those things.
Yeah,
That
no,
stuff's
that's
terrible.
bullshit.
No,
But
no,
like
no,
a
no.
regular old pizza, now I will dab mine off with a couple paper towels to get all the grease off a little bit. But no, you
Oh,
just fold it up.
you're removing the flavor.
No, I'm removing the grease. It's about to go all over my clothes. I
No,
don't want it.
that's why you get the
I don't
lean.
need to make
You do
that
the
snow
lean.
cone funnel. No, I
You
don't
do.
need. No,
Yeah.
you do the lean. Wait, what are you leaning with a fork and knife?
Well, yeah, that's true. But
Don't tell me about the lean. You lean in with your fork and knife and you cut it from 4 feet away so it doesn't get on you. Then you have the mommy bird bring it to you.
for those of you following along at home, I hope you find this absurdity as much fun as I do. Uh, all right, it's time.
Hey, this is the most fun I've had in 4 days. And the Falcons even won within those
Yeah,
4 days. I've just been on the shelf. So
God. All right, let's rate this beer. You want to go first, or should I?
I'll go first because uh, I'll be the one that uh, destroys the curve on this. I don't think it's bad. I don't agree with Dave on this. I think it's a good, decent IPA. I don't think it is considered a New England style IPA. I think they're missing the mark by a mile. I'm going to grade this on the IPA only. I'm going to give this like a 6.5. It's not great. It's drinkable though. It's not a total. It doesn't taste like crap. It just tastes like a regular IPA. So that's my grade.
Okay.
6.5.
Let me remind you what we paid for this. This was a $14 beer. Does that change your math?
Mm, no, I'm gonna stick with it. I
Whoa.
can't. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. No, I mean, yeah, I think it's fine. They're a small brewery. They're not.
Oh, they're not that small.
Well, I know.
I got a couple things before I give it a rating. We're on Untapped. Apparently, they numbered a lot of these bottles. There were 700. Sorry, 7,500 of them. I can't find a number on this bottle to save my life. And if they did number them, it's not on mine. And Ed, I don't think it's on yours either. We were talking a little bit before the show.
Nada.
I'm the Untapped rating on the warning shot. So EBK warning shot what is 4.02, which is pretty good for Untapped. It has almost 2,600 check-ins, and I got to tell you, I think this is a classic example of a brewery with a really good reputation, trading on that for a beer that's not quite good enough. I don't care who you are. This is definitely Untapped people grading on the curve, and when we break up in this next beer, I'll talk about uh, my theories on people grading on Untapped again, but I'm gonna grading EBK 1, which is the warning shot edition. I'm gonna give this one a 5. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. 8.5, and I never picked up any of the alcohol. New England IPAs are meant to be soft and have more body. This did not. If they sold it to me as just a standard IPA, I would have graded higher. But I'm grading it based upon the style you gave me. So this one's a 5 for me. All right, moving on.
Fair enough.
Next one is another Adroit theory. This is EBK Here We Go edition, which I guess this is the launch of this series. Warning shot. It was an earlier version. And this is the next version.
Yeah, this one, another 8.5% by alcohol. His fate, dependent on his ability to sow the heads of their enemy. The servant pushes forward, battle ready. His piercing gaze rises to meet his first opponent, fury pulsing through his veins. Battle commences, flesh sheared, exposing organs, stare sharper than sword. This sounds like porn. Like
No, no. It sounds like
fury
sounds like.
pulsing through his
Well,
veins,
yeah, okay,
flesh
that
sheared,
does.
exposing
It
organs.
sounds like Japanese like magma stuff.
That sounds like people getting it on to possibly battle axes and chainmail. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God, these labels are so bad. This one, the particulates in this one are far smaller, almost to the proper haze. We're talking really fine.
Yeah,
You can tell
the
that.
color of this one's way nicer than the last one.
Yeah, you can tell that they figured something out.
This was the second one.
Yeah, this is the second one.
Okay.
Nose on this one's way more impressive. Oh man, it's so much better. Oh.
Ooh, yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, this one was also the pricier of the two. This one was 18, I think. So, um, oh boy.
How did I
Lot,
not know what I paid for these? Wait, that's right. I haven't paid for them yet.
you're supposed to PayPal our friend Nicole. Hello.
Now she told me, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
You have a good thing going with her. She likes you. Oh man.
We're all friends. Beer friends have known each other. I've known so many beer friends for so many years, as anyone who listens to us can attest to. I'm the old guy. Just one of those things.
Okay, so this one again is sold as a New England style IPA. Much more juicy, totally tropical. This is like pineapple and mango. The nose is.
I am enjoying the flavor of this a lot.
Yeah, this one's way better.
Or maybe just a lot more than the last one.
Oh God. But yeah, this is head and shoulders above the last one. It's got a little bit of sweetness, but it's not cloying. It's a proper sweetness.
I still think it's they're on the right block. They're just not at the right doorstep with the New England style. They're way closer with this one.
This is more like if Trogs was trying to do the New England style like juiciness. This is kind of more reminding me of like Nimble Giant in that it's got the mango going, orange peel. It's a little bit piney in the middle. It's got a little bit of dankness in there in the finish. Got a lot going on. I may come to regret that Nimble Giant reference, but that's where I'm at right now. Still lacks the body. Look, New England style IPAs, for me, the defining characteristic of it is that it has a soft mouthfeel. And I'm going to spell it for you. SAWFT. Soft. And it's not. Enzo. It's not. I mean, it's just not soft. It's almost a little bit prickly, which I don't mind, but they didn't.
It doesn't give you that little blanket around your tongue, no. Like it's not at all. It still has the characteristics of a regular beer, which all regular beers are fine. That was a terrible phrasing. I should never. However, it still doesn't have the right brewing science behind it,
right?
That the real New England styles have really honed in and really gotten a hold of, But even they get off every once in a while. I mean, some of those Veil beers I have, and I expect some of them are way more harsh. That but It's not an exact science, but when you find it, you find it.
Yeah, yeah. It's not here.
This is a good beer, though. I really
It is a
like
good beer.
this.
It's a good beer. Look, if they didn't put New England style Imperial IPA on the label, I I I wouldn't be probably as critical of it.
Yeah,
Look,
I get real weird with the beer semantics, with the styles and everything, especially now when it breaks down to, well, this, and this, and we're gonna do this. It just, I get tired of it. And in my book, they're IPAs, regardless of how
well,
it.
no,
No,
you gotta set customer expectations. I don't look everything. All these naming conventions has been bastardized to the hilt, but like, come on, can we start to agree on something with some of these? This is you got to hold them accountable for something, right, Ed?
I do, only because I think sometimes you're putting something on the label that could be just jumping on a bandwagon.
Marketing.
Yeah, and which, I mean, I know I would never do it if I ran a brewery. God help everybody if I ran a brewery, but it just, I don't know. I still see IPA, and I'm like, okay, IPA.
Mm. Look, I like it. It's just not New England style. What it is it's New England style adjacent, if
Mm.
that makes any sense. It's got some of the characteristics, but not enough. You're on mute.
How Fleetwood Mac is yacht adjacent, yacht rock adjacent. They're close. They're in the years. They've got the production, but they're not truly yacht rock. They're there, but not really.
Yeah, they're a kindred spirit. Um, Good beer so far. Yeah, and it doesn't have the particulate mess that the last one did. If you can see this, it is very tiny little particulates in there.
Yeah, nothing to write home about. This is pretty damn good, actually. Is it $18 good? Probably not, but
It's
it's
not. It's not.
I'm enjoying this
Yeah,
very
I mean,
much. Probably more than I should.
I can
Probably get
tell
my
you. I
first
can
beer
talk to you
before
about
that.
price. I mean, here's my issue with price. I overspend on beers. We all do. If you're
Yeah.
watching this podcast, you spend too much on beer. Okay, moving on. Uh, that being said, $18 for this beer is. I don't know what the markup is. I don't know what it was at the brewery. This is what we paid for it. It's just it's outrageous. But there are beers I will spend that much for. Grand Cru, Russian Imperial Stout, a bourbon barrel aged or barrel aged, whatever, certain sours or wild ales. Ones that I look at and go, okay, I understand the cost and the need to put that margin in there because of risk or cost of the product. Um, New England style IPAs in a bottle, $18 first run. Look, I knew Adroit Theory beers were not cheap. I mean, this is not, and nor should they be. But whew, this one's pricey. It's not worth it.
No, I got you. But I remember, I think back in 2005, somebody asked me because I was going through this beer thing, and somebody asked me, what's the most you ever paid for a beer? And at that time, I think my answer was $23. And they were like, oh my God, $23? I was like, yeah. And they were like, holy shit. And now I look back and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'd double that for an Eclipse right now. Like,
Oh yeah,
not even thinking about it.
yeah. Oh, I wouldn't bet an eye at $40 for Eclipse
Yeah. Like, I mean, you
or
can get them for
50.
less than that, but
Yeah.
still, you can get them less than that at Federal Tap House when they're out. But, it's just one of those things that evolves. Like, back then, people were just like shocked. But the way people now expect you to pay that for and it was a bomber too. And I forget which one it was, or it might have been might have been one of the worldwides. I got a 2002 worldwide that was like 23%. But no, I think I got a discount. I think that one only cost me like $8 or something like that. But I paid $22 for something, and somebody freaked out, and it was a Belgian of some kind, probably. But
What was the price of that first Splinter Black? That was probably the first time I paid a true premium at a brewery.
the first one, like
Yeah,
when before they left Harrisburg,
yeah.
I don't think it was. I only think it was like $28 or 24
That
bucks or something like
yeah,
that.
I think it was 28. That
It was
makes
under 30. I know that.
it was
That's the first time I ever saw people, or I didn't see it because I don't wait in line for shit. But that's the first time I went in Trogs. Are like, oh my god, people came up on Friday night from Virginia and had campers, and that's when Trogs kind of panicked and was like, we got to figure something out with this thing, because that was like one of the first signs that people will come and pilgrimage to your place and hang out in your parking lot, and they were not prepared for that. But also, they came in before the internet and didn't realize how fast word of mouth could travel at that point. And what was that? Oh, 08, 07?
0807. I wandered down there. I was towards the end of the line. I ended up getting some. It still is one of the more remarkable events in craft beer for me personally, just because I was like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, this is a place that I would leave work at 4 o'clock, so I could get there before they closed at 5, so I could get a pint or two and then a growler filled before I went in.
Our
Before I
paths
walked
must
home.
our paths must have crossed well before we knew each other.
Oh, they definitely did. They definitely did. I loved going to the old downtown place, and Trogs, if you're listening, look. The last time I had an epic rant, I'm not gonna have one about it yet. You'll hear this at some point. Last time I had a big rant about Trogs, it was about the parking, and shortly thereafter, lo and behold, they fixed the parking, and it's beautiful and it's fantastic, and they opened the beer garden, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And now you can actually go there and have someplace to put your vehicle. My next rant, I'm holding on to it, is going to be about the need for a downtown Harrisburg location, because I want it to happen.
Oh man, that's a tough hill to die on there, Billy. I think somebody, I forget who we were talking to, and somebody brought up, why not just make a Splinter room down there? You do like Splinter releases. It can be open limited hours. You don't even have to do bottle releases there. Just be like, hey, we have Splinter beers on tap and Splinter bottle. Well, I guess you could do Splinter bottles, but that'd be cool. But I mean, there again, what's it going to do for them? Everyone goes to their place anyway.
Yeah, oh, Sean Fox, thank you. Abby's dad, 08 for the Splinter Black. The
I was
issue,
close.
You were close. I should have better memory about that. It definitely was 08. The downtown location, you could have limited hours because Harrisburg downtown has limited hours. 6 o'clock, the downtown's empty. So it's very simple, very easy.
Well, they had it good with the city adjacent and had the parking lot and everything like that. It was a good spot.
It was a good spot. And Jeff Hazelwood, who is the gentleman behind the pub crawl, and we'll put a link for that up there. There's one in media, and we're going to be giving away tickets for that in the coming weeks. So follow us on Twitter.
I'm so excited that people actually went to that and had a good time. I am so pumped about that. That's great.
The feedback we had from the last pub crawl was fantastic.
That is fantastic.
He's calling for it to be in Philly. Please no, don't go to Philly first. God, Harpy still. Trogs, Philly, I think would like to have Trogs and kind of like take it as their own. It is definitely not. It is a central PA thing. No. Philly, you may not have it. Anyway, media is the location for the next pub crawl, and apparently, hopefully, in the near future, there'll be one in Harrisburg. If you're following along for Bearcat on Beer, at Ed Grohl, at Easy Pretzel, any of us will be throwing out links for the pub crawl. So hang around for that. And if you're watching this live, you probably just noticed in the live chat, big announcement for Harrisburg tomorrow. Ooh, nice. All right.
I like that. I am pumped that people went and had a good time at that though. Like, like I said last time we did this, I was in the dark about the whole thing. And just to know that people actually got in and did it, I'm glad that we're giving away stuff that people are enjoying. And as a former sales guy, I used to do contests that fell flat. It's so awesome to see people actually go and be able to do that and have a good time. I'm pretty pumped about future ones now. That's great.
I am too. Before we get to this beer, let's I want to talk about something I noticed that this past Friday. So I went to the Liederkranz down at here in Harrisburg. Had a great time. Authentic German beers, brats, potato pancakes, kielbasa, a bunch of polka music, people dancing, everyone having a great time. All right. I'm checking in some, Mars in Oktoberfest from a brewery whose name is literally like 8 or 10 syllables long that I can't pronounce. I can't pronounce anything anyway. I'm checking in on Untapped, and this brewery's been making this beer for what, 500 years, right? And people are like checking in at 2.5, and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? This is why I say, and people have called me out on this. This is why I say Untapped is the hoi polloi. If you are drinking if you're drinking a true German Oktoberfest from a brewery that's been doing it for multiple centuries, and you give it 2 caps, you can just go to hell. Just delete your account, right? I don't want to hear from you.
I would almost hate to see what like a West Valearton or like a Leffe, like a true Belgian would do too. Like with some of the newer people, they don't appreciate it. Is this the IPA-ification of Untapped, where everything has to be a zillion percent and it has to be this hops and da da da? German style brewing is so effing good, and it bothers me that people do not appreciate it. And that's why I like having places like Victory this close, because Victory is, they do it so well. And I mean, is this just everyone's palates are like, well, if it's not an IPA or a sour or a saison or I mean, America doesn't even do farmhouse, right? But you get my drift. Are they just getting, are there too many microbreweries around that people cannot appreciate the classics anymore? Are there too many Transformers movies that nobody can go back and watch To Kill a Mockingbird and enjoy it anymore?
That's a great reference, and that's a great question. And I think that the answer to that is yes. We expect our palates to be assaulted with like bold, crazy flavors, and I love all that stuff. But the subtle enjoyment of a nice lager, a crisp pilsner, a malty, bready, well-aged Marzen, a beer brewed in March and finally pulled out here in September. That long lagering process, which is hard and critical to making it properly. We don't we don't appreciate it.
And
And it's
also
sad.
super easy to fuck up,
Right. These
which
are
is
hard beers to make.
right, which is probably why people don't do it. The Trogs brothers went to school to do exactly that. Most people went to Germany or out to like Colorado to learn how to do that stuff at a brewing school. They didn't just win the silver medal at your local homebrew competition and open a, it that stuff takes time and effort and a real absolute science to do. And it's a shame that people don't appreciate that. 2.5 for a Marzen just means that you don't you don't understand what a Marzen is. And I get it, it's taste is subjective. Don't give me any of that shit. Those are good beers. And I guarantee what you were drinking was phenomenal.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was great stuff. I love a good Marzen. Oh, do I love a good, properly ready, red, malty, you know, balanced and really quaffable Marzen. It's good drinking beer, and it
I
goes
love a good
great.
Hefes. You do a
Oh,
Hefe right, I am all I'm all in all the way. I do love, and this might not even be the best example. Like when we went to like Hofbrauhaus out in Pittsburgh, and like I would get an entire mug of that Hefe and just love the shit out of it because it's done right. And I know it's a chain, say whatever you want, but it's not the Hefe from your brew pub down the street that was not Germany trained.
People that complain about Hofbrauhaus don't understand what it's meant to be. It's a drinking. It's a drinking establishment. You're there to get a big mug and to like put it down. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And do a shot ski.
No, but
right. I love those beers, and I think the Pilsners are great. I love a Rausch beer, like the good smoky ones. I think it's all great when it's done.
I'm not with you on the Rausch.
All right, acquired taste.
Yeah, but they are.
It's amazing how a lot of those beers are what I came up on, because there wasn't a whole lot of quote unquote craft, but the craft brewers that did it were doing that. And now people are turning their nose up because it's not, they didn't get it in a wicker basket and pour it out, with whatever in it. That bothers me.
Yep. All right. Let's see what the Untapped hoi polloi have to say about EBK New England style IPA. Oh, sorry, New England style Imperial IPA. Here we go edition.
I'm anxious to hear what the Untapped ratings are on this.
The overall rating was a 4.12. Last one was 4.02. This one has 1,500 check-ins. Quote, these guys don't make a bad beer. This is nice and fruity with some dankness in the finish. I agree with the second half. I wouldn't necessarily say that these guys don't make a bad beer. Last one was not good.
That's a guy who only wanted to spend $18, not $40.
Piney and juicy, lots of orange coming through. There's some orange coming in there. It's more, I would say, more tropical. Yum Yum from LES. Okay, that's not very helpful. Stephen M gave it 1 cap and provided no explanation. This is not a 1 cap beer. There you go.
And by the way, if you're not going to explain that, you're just kind of an asshole.
Yeah, you are. Mario Kart, here we go. Hands down, best Adroit theory I've had. This is probably the only Adroit theory you had.
Now, they have a couple of stouts that I've had that are freaking amazing.
Yeah, my understanding is their stouts is really where they're.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Yeah, if I could have my first beer from Adroit be it anything, it'd be a Russian Imperial.
Bring your futon. We'll go down. We'll take a road trip.
Yeah, futon right there. Look, it's a good beer. I like it. Let's give it a rating. I'll go first. You went first last time. It's just not. The body's just not there. It's not soft. Doesn't have the proper mouthfeel. Doesn't have the proper haze. There are parts of this beer that just do not hit the critical boxes and check marks necessary for an IPA. That being said, I like this
IPA.
Beer.
For New England IPA?
For a New England IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. It's not hitting the proper boxes for a New England style IPA. That being said, it's a good beer. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I would recommend it to others. Factory in the price. That's going to take it down a peg. So when I rate this one, I'm going to give it a 6. It's certainly better than the last one. It's also more expensive than the last one. It doesn't have the particulate problem that the other one had, but it's still thin. The nose is much improved, but boy, does this one not hit the mark. Not on a New England style IPA. And look, folks, Adroit Theory told me it was a New England style IPA. They sell this as an IPA. I'm going to give it probably 2 points higher. You put this as an IPA, I might go as far as an 8. Much better as if that were the style they were selling me versus what we have here. Because you know what? I like tropical, I like dank, I like piney, I like the hop profile on it. I would enjoy it much further, but that's not what they sold me. They sold me something else, and for that, it gets a 6.
All right. Jane, you ignorant slut. No, I'm just kidding. No. Counterpoint. No, I really like this beer. I think it's good. I think that they would have been better off just saying, "Hey, here's a double IPA." I'm sure they bought some hops that justify the price for it. I can't really confirm or deny that. I think the look is great on this beer. I think the taste is really good. I would recommend it to anybody. I would not recommend paying $18. This is something that if you see at a bottle share, you should definitely, get your cup in there for. It's definitely worth that. Um, I know I'm the big softy of the group. I'm giving this a 7. I'm going to give it a 7.25, 7.25. I got to go over a little 7.
Wow.
I don't want to go full 7.5. I like this beer. I think it's really good. I just don't. I get where people. Well, it's not New England. Da, da, da. I just like the flavor profile of this, and I think it's if somebody was like, "Here's a double IPA, drink it," I'd be like, "Oh, this is really good." So I'm going to judge it based on that.
Yeah, I like it too, but that's not what they sold me.
All right. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I was drunk when I told you guys I would take some of it. So I didn't know what I was getting anyway.
Oh, I had no idea what I was getting. I heard Nicole say EBK and New England style IPA and Adroit theory.
Now,
I went, yeah, whatever.
Let me also pad the stats here by saying we're 3 months in on these beers. So who knows what these tasted like right out of the bottle. So I have to pad the stat a little bit on that.
Look, the body on the beer didn't fall apart in 3 months. It's not like it thinned out.
I don't think the body on this one's that bad. Now, is it the luxurious feel of the Corinthian leather that you get when you drink a Veil beer? No. Ricardo Montalban, it is not. But it is it's good. It's real good. I think
they were the ones who put New England IPA on the label. I didn't. They didn't make a New England IPA. If you
slap a guarantee on a box, it doesn't make it's just a guaranteed piece of shit.
That's right. That's a great reference for this.
Go ahead, Solinsky.
Look, if they wanted to, if they make this just Imperial IPA, I might give this like a 9. I love this beer, but that's not what they sold me.
All right, we're gonna have to average this between expectation versus reality.
But expectations matter. Look, I didn't make this label. They did. They put it on there. It's not a New England style IPA.
I get it, but when I make reviews, and I mean, this is why it's good that we have differing opinions. And you guys know that I'm the soft guy. I'm the diplomat. I will give my score based on whether or not I think somebody should drink it. And I think people should drink this. I think this is good. I mean, should you trade for it? No. But if you see it around, buy a bottle. Who cares? It's not going to be $18 if you get it somewhere else, or it's, but it's definitely worth drinking. I think it's good. The first one, no, forgettable.
Yeah.
It's a train wreck, but it's not terrible, but I just think people should drink it. I think it's good.
I think this one is head and shoulders above the other one. And if I had this one first and then I had the other one, I would have given the other one a much lower score. I would have given it a 4, maybe a 3.5. The disparity between the two is broad.
It's amazing, the disparity between the two. Actually,
this one's far and away better. But I think expectations matter. I think here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're a brewer or a marketer, and if you are putting a label together, and you set an expectation for me, and if you can't hit it, I'm going to take exception to that.
Boy, the line there was, "I'm going to quit it." I get it. I get that totally, and which is why I wouldn't argue with it. I just want to tell people if they should drink it.
Yeah. Look, should you drink it? Yeah, you should drink this.
I'm an easier judge, though. Everybody,
you should drink this beer. They should drink.
I
It's a
got called out one
well-constructed good
time for
beer.
giving a beer a 3 on Untapped, and immediately someone was like, "What's wrong with this beer?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, you never give under a 3.5.
Stop caring what people think. It's the internet. Hey.
Now our faces are on it. Ooh.
Yeah. I will say this. You know who I am. You know what I look like. You know what I drink. If you don't agree with me, come at me, bro. I'm okay with it. All right.
Oh, you know me. You know what I look like, and I got to say, if you don't like my opinions, take it up with Bill.
All right. I'm Bearcat. Bearcat on Beer on Twitter. You can read the blog. I don't write at it anymore at bearcatonbeer.com. And we're gonna have a real podcast coming up real soon. It's been a while, but we've been building towards this. We've been trying to get this guest on, and I really feel good about it. Edwin, anything else good for the order?
I think we've covered it. I hope I didn't bore everyone to death with my opinions, and I'm glad people are watching our YouTube videos, and I'm glad that we can do these every week. I am looking forward to the actual formal podcast again next week. It's actually making me nervous. Like, I feel like I need to do some research and stuff, I got to read up, but we're not going to give away the big reveal, and hopefully it all comes together. And thank you everyone for listening. I'm hoping to put stuff together for when Bill and Dave are on. They have Real Lives hiatus, and maybe put together some beer reviews with some local people here in Harrisburg, just filmed randomly, and see if we can put them up to hold everybody over. I'm going to try it. I'm not going to say I'm going to succeed at it, or it's going to look good or be cool or anything, but I'm hoping to do that. So, and I appreciate Bill and Dave and Tech and everybody for being around. And I hope you guys all stick around through the not transition, but through the kind of lull here.
Yeah. So real quick, at Bearcat on Beer, at Ed Grohl, at Easy Pretzel, at Tech Support at Tech _ IFS podcast. Look, it's free to watch us. It's free to listen to us. Here's the way you can pay us. You can share the link for this episode, or more importantly, a link for the IFS podcast with friends and like-minded.
Subscribe on YouTube as well.
Hit the subscribe. It's free to watch. How would we like you to pay us? Subscribe and share with friends. Until next time, Prost.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, I'm going to hit stop.